My grandson called. "Grandpa, I just saw Grandma at a motel with 5 guys." I replied, "What are you talking about? She's sitting right here, next to me." My name is Richard Thompson. I'm 68 years old, and I live in Austin, Texas. I'm a retired history teacher, who spent nearly 4 decades teaching young minds about the past, the mistakes of men, and the price of betrayal. I've always believed history repeats itself, but I never thought it would repeat itself in my own life. I've been married to my wife Eva for 45 years. She's 65, elegant, graceful, and to everyone who knows her, the perfect image of loyalty and kindness. We have one son, Michael, and a 14-year-old grandson, Ethan, who's the light of my life. After retirement, Eva and I bought a little farmhouse outside the city, where we plan to live peacefully, growing vegetables, hosting family dinners, and watching sunsets together. That was the dream, at least, until one phone call changed everything. It was a Saturday evening, and Eva and I were watching our favorite mystery show. The room was warm, the air smelled of cinnamon tea, and the soft ticking of the wall clock filled the silence between us. My phone started buzzing on the table. I looked at the screen, and it was Ethan. "Hey, buddy," I said with a smile. But his voice was trembling. "Grandpa, I just saw Grandma at a motel, with 5 guys." I froze. My heart skipped a beat. For a second, I thought he was joking. "What are you talking about, Ethan? Grandma's sitting right here next to me," he insisted. "No, Grandpa. I swear, I saw her. She was wearing the same blue dress she had on at lunch. I even called her name, but she rushed inside with them." I turned my head slowly toward Eva. She looked calm, but her face had drained of color. Her hands were gripping her teacup so tightly, I thought it might break. "Ethan," I said softly, "are you sure it was Grandma?" "Yes, Grandpa," he whispered. "I'm sure. I even took a picture." When I hung up, I looked at Eva. She couldn't meet my eyes. My mind was spinning. If she was sitting beside me, who did Ethan see? Or was there something else going on? Eva suddenly stood up, her voice shaking. "Richard, he must be mistaken. Maybe someone who looks like me." But my gut told me something was wrong. For years, I'd ignored little things, the late-night phone calls, her unexplained absences, the expensive perfume that wasn't hers, and her sudden interest in girls' weekends. I played along for the moment. "You're right, honey," I said quietly. "He probably made a mistake." That night, I pretended to sleep, but I was wide awake. Around midnight, I heard Eva get up. She slipped her phone into her purse, put on her coat, and walked outside. I followed her silently to the porch window. She got into her car and drove off into the darkness. I waited a few minutes, then grabbed my keys and followed. After 20 minutes, her car pulled into a motel parking lot on the outskirts of town. My stomach turned when I saw her step out, wearing that same blue dress Ethan had mentioned. And she wasn't alone. A group of men came out of one of the rooms, laughing and handing her envelopes. She smiled, kissed one of them on the cheek, and walked inside with them. I sat in my car, numb. My hands were shaking. I didn't want to believe it, but the truth was staring right at me. I took pictures. I recorded everything. When I got home, I couldn't stop crying. 45 years of love, trust, and shared dreams had turned into ashes. The next morning, Eva walked in as if nothing had happened. She kissed my forehead and made breakfast. I looked at her and thought, how can someone lie so beautifully? I decided not to confront her immediately. Instead, I started digging. Over the next few days, I found out Eva had a secret bank account with large deposits, all made in cash. She'd been telling everyone she volunteered at a charity, but the charity had no record of her. She was living a double life. A week later, I contacted one of the men from the motel. He thought I was a business associate. He didn't recognize me. He revealed that Eva had been running a private social group, where wealthy older women met younger men for paid company. My wife was the coordinator, and apparently, the most popular one herself. I felt sick. I wasn't just betrayed as a husband, I was humiliated as a man who trusted her completely. I didn't tell anyone. Instead, I planned my revenge. One night, I invited the whole family over, our son, daughter-in-law, and little Ethan. I told Eva we were celebrating our 45th anniversary early. She dressed beautifully in that same blue dress, the one she wore to the motel. After dinner, I stood up to give a toast. I said, "To love, loyalty, and truth, the pillars of a strong marriage." Everyone clapped. Eva smiled proudly. Then I added, "And to never forgetting that betrayal, once revealed, becomes history's lesson." I clicked a button on the remote. The TV screen behind me came to life, showing the photos and videos I'd taken that night at the motel. The room went dead silent. My son's fork dropped. Ethan covered his mouth. Eva gasped and turned pale. "Richard, please." But I said nothing. I let the truth speak for itself. She broke down, crying, begging me to stop, saying it wasn't what it looked like, that she was only helping lonely clients. But there are some wounds words can't heal. I packed my things that night. I left her everything, the house, the car, the garden she loved so much. I didn't want any of it anymore. I just wanted peace. 2 months later, I filed for divorce. She tried to reach me, but I never answered. The shame destroyed her reputation. Everyone she knew turned their back on her. One day, I received a letter from her. It said, "You were the only man who ever truly loved me." I just wanted to feel young again. I didn't realize what I was destroying. I burned the letter. Now, I live alone in a small cabin by the lake. Some evenings, I sit by the water and watch the sun sink into the horizon. I think about how love can turn into poison when it's mixed with lies. Sometimes, Ethan calls me, just to check in. Every time he does, I tell him, "Thank you, son. You saved me." Because if he hadn't made that call that night, I would have spent the rest of my life loving a ghost. And as I end this story, I'll tell you one thing: betrayal doesn't come from your enemies. It comes from the one who swore to protect your heart. And once that trust is broken, revenge isn't about hurting them back. It's about walking away so silently that their own guilt screams louder than your pain. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And tell me, what would you have done if you were in my place?